Steering issues are super common on the Chevy 2500 and 3500, and they've been there for a long time. To address those problems, we're gonna replace everything, the entire factory steering system. The only thing that we're gonna keep is the factory steering box. Now, what are we gonna replace those parts with? I've got them all laid out in front of me. Let's dig into it. Now we've got all these parts laid out in front of me. It's really cool because these things are big and beefy. The parts are made here in the US, which I really like. The first thing that I got my hands all over is the center link. It connects the tie rod ends to the pitman arm and the steering box. Kind of a crucial part. We've got two massive tie rod ends. These are connected to the center link to the steering knuckles. We've got an idler arm, a pitman arm, an idler arm support, and a reinforcement bracket. It's cool looking at all these parts on the table, but where the real difference is comparing them to the stock parts. So we're here, we've got all the parts taken out. As you can see, we have the factory parts laid next to their respective heavy-duty parts from Kryptonite. Gabe has the entire front differential out of this truck, although you don't need to necessarily do that. It is convenient though, because we're installing a big 8-inch lift kit on that truck while we're doing this upgrade at the same time. It's an important upgrade because we're gonna be turning some 35s, and you're gonna need all that beef to make sure we don't have any issues. So let's get into it. One thing I want to talk about is this special snap-on puller. We use this all the time when we do these installs, specifically to remove the pitman arm and idler arm right here. Let's get into the nitty-gritty comparing these two components. If you've never looked at the steering on your truck, you'll see I have it laid out similar to how it would be. This is the pitman arm, and it gets connected to the steering box. On the opposite side of the frame, we have this idler arm. So as this pitman arm steers, the center link moves, and of course, your tie rod ends move, thus turning the tires on your truck to steer. When we compare the tie rod ends, holy moly, what a difference. These things are about a ½ an inch in diameter versus these massive hex, I don't know, probably 1-inch diameter pieces. When you look at the tie rod ends themselves, they definitely seem much bigger and sturdier, so I assume that these things will hold up much better. Sliding over to the center link, you can see that this new center link is definitely much heavier. It is all solid, not a tube, and it gets rid of this problematic bushing, which could definitely lead to some numb feeling steering, which you definitely don't want on a big lifted heavy duty diesel truck pushing 35s. When we compare the pitman arm and idler arm, as you can see, this thing is much bigger. I'm assuming that there's bigger bearings in there. This thing is cast, whereas opposed to this idler arm is all billet. So I suspect that these components will live much longer. One other thing that's helpful is that when we install this idler, we get to weld in this brace. So that actually helps a bunch as well. So Gabe's got the rest of this lift to install. And then once we do that, we're gonna install all these new pieces. Once that's all done, we're gonna be heading over to the alignment rack. Before we get the truck over on the alignment rack, I want to show you around a little bit because Gabe is just starting to get this front end completely assembled. Of course, we've got the lift kit installed and all the components that go with it, but check out this steering tie rod end. It is bolted to the steering knuckle, and just deep inside there you can see the center link and how it's bolted to the pitman arm. The assembly went pretty well. These parts, like I said earlier, are super beefy. One thing we like to do when we assemble all these things is make sure that we thoroughly anesthetize all the threads so that when we adjust this stuff now and in the future, it adjusts super easy. Now onto the alignment rack. The Chevy 2500 turned out awesome. It is a beautiful looking truck. I always love seeing gloss black, chrome, and machined all together for one awesome looking product. The steering on this thing is super beef, and if you've got a truck just like it, maybe it's an upgrade that you're gonna consider. If you like this truck and wanna know more about it, head over to our website at mountzionoffroad.com. There's a portfolio page there with hundreds of rigs, and you can see all sorts of combinations about what we do, what lift height, wheel tire, and everything that works together for projects that we've done in the shop. Make sure if you watch this video and you like it, subscribe, like it, and follow us on all the other social platforms because we're there in a big way showing out what happens in the shop every single day. Thanks for following along on this. Hopefully you found it helpful. See ya.